Why are you even here? You're nothing but dead weight. My brother's words cut across the dinner table like shards of glass. Laughter followed, sharp and cruel. My mother's high-pitched giggle, my father's low dismissive chuckle, and my sister's smug snort. It was Christmas Eve, the table shining with food I had paid for. Ham glistening, wine poured into crystal, silver clinking against porcelain. I swallowed the sting of humiliation like bitter medicine and smiled instead. Then I raised my glass and said clearly, "What happens when this dead weight stops paying for all of this?" The laughter choked off instantly, like air sucked from the room that I grew up believing love was earned, that family meant sacrifice. My sister was always the star. Cheer captain, beauty pageant winner, spoiled princess who threw tantrums with grace. I was the quiet one, the workhorse. She failed courses, I paid her tuition. She wrecked her car, I covered insurance. She wanted a boutique, I signed the loan. My brother never held a steady job, yet his rent magically cleared each month, through my account. My parents only called when the lights were about to shut off or when a bank card declined. And each time I wired money, I told myself it was proof I mattered, that buying their stability would finally earn their respect. But I was wrong. The first shift came last spring, when Mom called sobbing about losing the house unless I transferred. Just a little more. I sent $2,000 without hesitation. Minutes later, her voice trailed after she thought the call had ended. I heard her laugh, then sneer to Dad. She actually thinks we care. She's only useful for her paycheck. I sat frozen, phone pressed against my ear, heart crumbling into dust. That night something inside me cracked. I began collecting receipts, printing bank statements, cataloging every cent I'd poured into them. Quietly, methodically, I prepared. I waited until Christmas Eve, the annual stage show of fake love and forced gratitude. The house sparkled like a postcard. Natalie, my sister, toasted loudly. To our generous provider, our ATM with legs. Forks clattered, laughter roared, eyes turned toward me, expecting the familiar flush of shame. But instead I stood, reached into my bag, and laid out thick envelopes, each labeled with their names. Inside, termination notices, cancelled auto payments, mortgage transfers returned to them, car loans reassigned. Paper against wood echoed like thunder. Natalie's hands shook as she opened hers, face draining of color. "You can't do this," she hissed. I looked her in the eye. "It's already done." My father muttered curses as his fingers trembled. My mother's voice went shrill, calling me ungrateful, accusing me of abandoning the family after all they'd given me. My brother frantically refreshed his banking app, only to find his rent transfer had vanished. Rage exploded from them. Accusations, betrayal, venom dripping from every word. I listened silently, detached, like a scientist studying wild animals. Then, in a voice softer than their shouting, I said, "Family doesn't exploit. Family doesn't mock. Family doesn't drain someone dry and call it love." The room fell still. For the first time, true silence hung in that house. I put on my coat, walked toward the door and paused only once. I won't fund my own humiliation anymore. Merry Christmas. The door closed behind me, their voices swallowed by the night. Outside, the air was crisp, my breath white in the glow of holiday lights. My phone buzzed. Natalie's name flashed. I declined. I kept walking, the snow crunching beneath my boots. For the first time, the silence belonged to me, not them. People think revenge is fire, shouting, explosions. But the truest revenge is withdrawal, removing the lifeline they thought they owned, letting them choke on the emptiness they carved themselves. I don't regret a single transfer cut, not one bill cancelled, because I was never the burden. I was the only one keeping them afloat. And now, without me, they would finally understand exactly how much the useless one was worth.